فاست اند فیوریوس قسمت ششم. ژانر اکشن، جنایی، هیجان انگیز. کارگردان جاستین لین. فیلمنامه کریس مورگان. تهیه کننده نیل موریتز و وین دیزل. کمپانی های تهیه کننده یونیورسال پیکچرز و ریلیتیویتی مدیا. بر اساس داستان کاراکترز اثر گری اسکات تامسون. بازیگران وین دیزل، پال واکر، دوین جانسون و میشل رودریگز. موسیقی متن لوکاس وایگل. پخش از یونیورسال پیکچرز. زمان فیلم 130 دقیقه. تاریخ اکران می 2013. بودجه ساخت 160 میلیون دلار. کشورهای سازنده آمریکا و انگلستان. محل فیلم برداری کشورهای انگلستان، آمریکا، اسکاتلند، آلمان، اسپانیا، چین و هنگ کنگ. رتبه فیلم در سایت IMDb 7.2.
So how's the life of a retired international criminal? I need your help, Dom. Last week, a team of highly coordinated drivers took down a military convoy. This most recent job graduated them to a whole new level. You're gonna help me catch the team responsible.
Why is that, Hobbs?
This was taken a week ago.
He's messing with your head. Letty's dead, Dom.
I need to know for sure.
Then I'm going with you.
Equipment's way better than that trash in Rio.
Way better.
So now we work for the Hawk?
Things changed.
Breathe with me.
Our target's Owen Shaw, former major in the SAS Spec Ops soldier.
You help us get Letty, we'll get you, Shaw. But we need full pardons all the way around.
And cars. Make sure they're fast.
We're talking vehicular warfare.
We've never seen this before.
You believe in ghosts?
You don't turn your back on family, even when they do.
You really think you've won? This code you live by is about family. It's the very reason you weren't even in the game.
Damn.
Breathe with me. Breathe.
Somebody do something! I gotta take on my ass!
در فوریه سال 2010 وین دیزل اعلام کرد مراحل تولید قسمت 5 فیلم فاست اند فیوریوس آغاز شده و عنوان کرد که برای قسمت 6 این فیلم نیز برنامه‌هایی دارند. و در ژانویه سال 2011 بود که نیل اچ موریتز تهیه کننده اعلام کرد که او و وین دیزل درباره موضوع قسمت 6 به توافق رسیدند. آدم فوگلسون رئیس کمپانی یونیورسال در اپریل سال 2011 اعلام کرد که کریس مورگان طبق درخواست یونیورسال استودیوز کار بر روی متن قسمت 6 این فیلم را آغاز کرده است و همچنین اعلام شد این کمپانی قصد دارد ساختار این فیلم را از مسابقات خیابانی به مجموعی با مضمون سرقت و تعقیب و گریز تبدیل کند و وارد سبک فیلم‌هایی چون The Italian Job و French Connection بشود. فوگلسون همچنین خاطر نشان کرد که جنبه ماشینی بودن این فیلم باعث شده تا از تعداد علاقه‌مندان آن کاسته شود و با تبدیل شدن این مجموعه ها به فیلمی که مهارت در رانندگی تنها یک بعد آن است، امیدواریم تا بر تعداد مخاطبان این فیلم بیفزاییم.
The number one question has always been, how can we possibly top Fast 5? How is it possible? I'll show y'all right now. Fast 6.
So this is Fast and Furious.
Fast 6, baby.
Just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, it gets more fast, more furious.
Lights, camera, action, baby. Let's go.
Breathe with me.
I just felt like on this one, we go big or we go home.
This road lined with explosions, and we're going to try to make this even more dynamic. They had this idea of, what if we put these guys up against a tank?
Guys, they got a tank.
Damn.
It's a sequence that has never been done before.
Here we go.
That sequence was the hardest because we used real tanks. And we knew that if the tank hits something it's not supposed to hit, it's destroyed. There is no forgiveness.
Somebody do something! I got a tank on my ass!
At the core, it's a Chieftain World War II tank.
The real tanks only do 30 miles an hour. So far, we've done over 60 miles an hour.
It's a custom tank. Very appropriate for a Fast and Furious film.
You've got cars getting smashed, bridges getting shot up, multiple hero moments.
To have the Tenerife and Gran Canaria government say, hey, yeah, come over.
Roll cameras, roll cameras!
We have these brand new highways you can wreck. It made all the difference.
That was awesome, Lee. We hit both cars dead center.
In the tank sequence, we had a lot of challenges.
We are firing this tank out of the back of a 30-ton moving truck.
And the second part was we built this huge, long, solid cement ramp.
It's 60 tons blowing out of this thing through the cab of that semi and runs over another truck. But to make a tank on an open piece of freeway interesting, you have to have head-on traffic.
Spiro with Second Unit was able to actually shoot this real. I think that the weight of that tank running over cars, the realness of that, and action, probably could never have duplicated with visual effects.
It doesn't slow the tank down a bit. It just annihilates anything it touches.
It's like a graveyard on the side of the freeway of smashed cars. Cars that are 5 feet tall that now are 12 inches off the ground.
But that's Fast 6. It's all about the destruction and the heroes saving the day.
در 24 جون سال 2011 کمپانی یونیورسال پیکچرز اعلام کرد قسمت بعدی این فیلم برای ماه می 2013 آماده اکران خواهد شد. در نتیجه موریتس و دیزل به عنوان تهیه کننده و جاستین لین نیز به عنوان کارگردان مجدداً در این پروژه مشغول به کار شدند. لین در مصاحبه‌ای با باکس آفیس عنوان کرد که پیش از تکمیل فیلم برداری قسمت پنجم یک فیلم 12 دقیقه‌ای برای قسمت ششم تهیه کرده است. و همچنین اظهار کرد که کار با وسواس بالا انجام نشد، زیرا در آن زمان هنوز ساخت قسمت بعدی فیلم و اینکه آیا او کارگردانی این فیلم را بر عهده خواهد داشت قطعیت پیدا نکرده بود. اما او دوست داشت روی نحوه پایان قسمت بعدی صاحب نظر باشد. در 21 اکتبر 2011 لس آنجلس تایمز اعلام کرد کمپانی یونیورسال برای این فیلم 2 قسمت دیگر نیز در نظر گرفته است، قسمت 6 و 7 و هر 2 قسمت داستان مضمون واحدی را طی می‌کنند و نویسنده هر 2 فیلم کریس مورگان بوده و کارگردان آنها نیز کماکان جاستین لین خواهد بود. وین دیزل در این باره اظهار داشت که دلیل این امر طولانی شدن بیش از حد داستان قسمت 6 بوده است که عملاً کار کردن بر روی آن و قرار دادن آن داستان در یک فیلم امکان پذیر نبوده است. در فوریه 2012 جانسون اعلام کرد فیلم برداری قسمت 6 از ماه می آغاز خواهد شد و برخی از صحنه‌های فیلم نیز در انگلیس و آلمان فیلم برداری خواهد شد. جانسون همچنین گفت این 2 قسمت به دلیل مشکلات جوی محل‌های فیلم برداری همزمان فیلم برداری نخواهند شد و تولید قسمت 7 پس از اتمام قسمت 6 انجام خواهد شد. فیلم برداری رسمی تا 30 جولای 2012 به تعویق افتاد و در فوریه 2013 نام فیلم به عنوان فست اند فیوریوس 6 تایید گردید.
The amount of action in this one. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm so happy about all of the action that's going on because in the previous two, in Fast 4 and Fast 5, I didn't get to do much action, and I always told Justin, listen, I want to be a badass. Can I say badass? No. Yeah, badass. I want to be a tough girl. I want to do like all kinds of action. I want to have gunshots. I want to fly up the air on the motorcycle, whatever. I want to do it all by myself, no stunt woman. And Justin was like, are you up to it? Are you up to it? And when we had the conversation before this one, he was like, okay, Gal, you're going to have a lot of action in this one. Do you want to have a stunt girl or should we? I was like, no, I want to do it by myself. I'm very proud of her. Yeah, I think she's an amazing role model. She's very strong, but she lets herself be soft and be happy and be feminine at the same time. She's very clever. She's very sophisticated. She's smart. She can see like a few steps ahead. She's one of the boys, which I always love. I mean, it's so nice and cool to be, not to be a poshy girl, but to be one of the guys. She's very down to earth. And all she cares about is important stuff, like love, independence. Like she has this whole philosophy going on that I really like about her.
فیلم برداری از 30 جولای 2012 در شپرتون استودیوی شهر سری و همچنین در لندن انگلستان آغاز گردید. با آنکه قسمت 6 سومین فیلمی بود که اجازه فیلم برداری در سیرک پیکادلی را دریافت کرده بود، ولی لین نتوانست مجوز فیلم برداری از صحنه‌های اکشن انفجار تانکر نفت را در این محل دریافت کند. بنابراین مجبور شد تا دستور ساخت نسخه‌ای عینی از این محل را در شپرتون استودیوز بدهد. از آنجایی که سیرک پیکادلی محل شلوغی بود، تولید در این محل بسیار کند پیش می‌رفت و در هر ساعت تنها 2 دقیقه از فیلم تولید می‌شد، زیرا میبایست محل را برای فیلم برداری تعطیل می‌کردند. در اکتبر 2012 پاول واکر در حین بدلکاری دچار سانحه شد و فیلم برداری از صحنه‌های مربوط به وی به بعد از بهبودی او موکول شد. همچنین فیلم برداری صحنه‌ای که با تصادف هواپیما آغاز می‌شد در همان ماه در هرتفوردشایر آغاز گردید و طبق برنامه تا 9 نوامبر ادامه پیدا کرد. فیلم برداری تعقیب و گریز ماشینی طی 4 روز در نوامبر 2012 در خیابان دیل در مرکز شهر لیورپول و همچنین تونل کوینزوی در نزدیکی شهر بیرکنهد انجام گردید.
This is London, baby. Are you ready? Stop!
The purpose of that Piccadilly race really leads up to kind of the heart of the movie. And for the scene between Dom and Letty to work, he had to earn that time with her. So that race was everything.
Let's do it.
Your funeral.
Ride or die, remember?
And we're shooting 2 fast cars drifting through London Piccadilly with 400 crowd. So we've got crowd guys, we've got the camera guys, action vehicles.
It was such a hat trick to actually film there.
We're only the 3rd film in history to be able to shoot in Piccadilly. That means everything to me.
We had these cars racing at high speeds, and we had hundreds of people that were 5 feet away from the sidewalk, and they could not make one mistake. The cars had to be standing by, you rolled camera, you drove them through, that was it.
It was a difficult shoot. We could do 1 run, then it'd be about a 20-minute break to get all the traffic through, change cameras, 1 more run, all night long.
از ابتدا قرار بود قسمتی از فیلم برداری در بندر مارسی فرانسه انجام شود، اما به دلیل مالیات کمتری که طبق محاسبات به صرفه‌جویی 20 میلیون دلاری منجر می‌شد، فیلم برداری در جزایر قناری اسپانیا ادامه پیدا کرد. صحنه‌های بدرکاری و تعقیب و گریز ماشینی در ماه آگوست در شهر گلاسگو اسکاتلند فیلم برداری گردید و تا 16 سپتامبر 2012 ادامه پیدا کرد و در آن 250 نفر همکاری داشتند که هیچ یک از بازیگران اصلی نبودند. قرار بود از اواخر آگوست تا اوایل سپتامبر 2012 فیلم برداری در مقر اسبق نیروی هوایی سلطنتی بریتانیا در RAF بنت باترز انجام شود. چند صحنه از فیلم هم در 1 دسامبر 2012 در اکوپارک لس آنجلس فیلم برداری گردید و در نهایت در 17 دسامبر 2012 فیلم برداری این فیلم به اتمام رسید.
When you do it for real is when it looks the best. It's the same with driving. It's the same with anything in the movie business. You know, it's like, it's why it's so nice when Justin's like, oh, we're going to get away from the green screen stuff. We're going to do it practical. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It looks a million times better. Sometimes you have to do it for real. You got to, you know. And if you're making action movies, and I've seen it with guys every once in a while, and they're a little squeamish about this or doing that, I'm like, oh, bro, sorry, you got the wrong job, man. We're making an action movie here. Maybe you should think twice before you sign on to doing one of these. You know, it's like, did you know what this was? You know, everybody wants to look cool, but sometimes you gotta take the licks in order to look it. So there you go. Kim and I were trying to sell this lamb, and they wanted to bring the cable, and I said, bro, if you just grab me around the neck. He's like, how much do you weigh? I'm like, oh, about 190 pounds. He's like, what is that in kilos? So we do the conversion real quick, and he's like, oh, I could pick you up with 1 arm. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you can. So I said, you know what, just grab me around the throat, man, and I'll hold on to your hand with both arms and just pick me up and chuck me on the car. And Vincent was there, and he's like, you could do that? I'm like, yeah, come on, Vincent. How long have you been doing this now? He's like, all right. So just boom, just slammed me a couple times, boom. And I remember there's a couple of times where I came down a little too heavy in the head, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I made sure I kept my chin tucked, you know. But that guy just launched me. But I had a headache for probably about an hour and a half after that. You know? Well, that's the fun stuff, you know. Jordana and I love Jordana. Like, I've known her since she was 19 years old. Like, you know, it's like I love her. Like, I would die for her in a heartbeat, you know. And to, like, be sitting there with her, I mean, you know, it's like, well, here we are after all this time, you know? Now we're pretending like we got a baby? Like, this is a trip, but...
We wanted to make it as real as possible. So the idea was creating a dynamic where I'm all about survival, and she's all about technique. So you can see that my will is all fight or flight, and I'll do anything. I'll bite, I'll scratch, I'll kick, I'll find something on the floor and hit you with it, whatever it takes to get out of there, which I think is more primal, more real for a Letty character than standing there and be like, bring it, you know. I'm like not a fighter, you know what I mean? I'm not Dom, you know. I want this to be gritty, man. I want to respect all those tomboys out there who want that integrity in the fight. We don't have a lot of girl fights at all. I mean, I could name probably 20, 30 movies where you have amazing guy fights. bar fights and cowboy gunfights and just great action. I think the closest we come, I could count it with 5 hands, you know? You like got like a Kill Bill, or it's like a girl against a guy and she kicks him in the nuts, or like, you know what I mean? But girl on girl, man, that's some cool stuff. You could really do something amazing with that. So we tried to milk it as much as possible, and I hope we did it justice, you know?
Letty.
مراحل پس از تولید با سرعت تا ماه مارس 2013 به اتمام رسید، چرا که لین قصد داشت کار 18 ماهه را در عرض 12 هفته به اتمام رساند. به همین منظور از چندین ادیتور و گروه‌های تخصصی برای جلوه‌های تصویری و اصلاح رنگ تصاویر و ادیتورهای میکس و مستر صدا کمک گرفت و استقرار این تعداد نیروی متخصص فضایی در حدود 2 سالن سینما را اشغال کرد. لین برای اتومبیل اوونشاو از طراح اتومبیل فیلم خواست ماشینی طراحی کند تا بتواند از تمام اتومبیل‌های دیگر جلو بزند و آنها را به هوا پرتاب کند. در نتیجه مکارتی و تیمش یک ماشین شاسی کوتاه با استیل فرمول 1 طراحی کردند که با کمک رمپ‌هایی که در جلوی آن نصب شده بود می‌توانست اتومبیل‌های دیگر را به هوا پرتاب کرده و در این حال خطری راننده ماشین را تهدید نکند. برای صحنه‌های مبارزه رودریگز و کارانو در متروی لندن که هر دو روی نرده پله با هم مبارزه می‌کردند، تهیه کننده ها که نگران بودند بروز حوادث جدی جریان فیلم را به تعویق بیاندازد، به استفاده از بدلکاران تاکید کردند و در نهایت بدلکاران زن این صحنه ها را اجرا کردند. در صحنه انفجار شاه گروه دام را به سمت ستون‌هایی می‌کشاند که می‌توانستند منفجر بشوند و هنرمندان جلوه‌های ویژه قادر بودند از آنها برای ساخت ساختمانی که در خودش فرو می‌ریزد استفاده کنند.
We start off on this incredibly long runway, and then this Antonov for real. But then Justin comes along and he says, well, we can't get a real plane, but we can build most of a real plane. So, you know, he'll go to whatever lengths he can to shoot stuff in camera, to get stuff for real. So we built a huge set piece for the Antonov, 75 feet long and 70 feet wide, and it was the sort of main section of the fuselage where the wheels and the undercarriage meet the ground. Obviously, whilst the plane is in the air, it has to be digital. There's no way to run cars fast enough to get alongside an airplane or to film with it safely. So, and then they had another set piece which formed the ramp at the back of the plane because a lot of the action revolved around cars going in and out. So Justin was adamant that that had to happen for real, and it had to be done at speed on the runway in the real location. And then the last set piece that they built was for the destruction. Well, there were a few different set pieces for that, but again, it wasn't dressed, it wasn't picture ready, but it was a 1-to-1 scale partial build of the center of the fuselage and the wings and engines, and also the nose of the plane. And then our special effects supervisor, Joss Williams, was able to basically run that down the runway, set it on fire, trigger explosions, and actually have the cars in camera running in front of it. We spent a long time looking at the dynamics of the construction of the fuselage, the way that the rib structures were clad with this fairly lightweight metal, and that as the plane impacted, the ribs compressed, and the plane basically started to shrug its metal surface off, and you get this little sort of ripple running back through the plane. The cameraman can go out and react to something. The DOP can go out and expose for the fire correctly. The stunt drivers that are in the cars are sort of driving for their lives because they've basically got a 40-ton burning plane rig chasing them down the runway, and all that stuff adds to the realism, I think.